Alright, so we're back. The vertex is HK, and the H is the x-coordinate. The x-coordinate is the same number as the axis. So H is negative b over 2a. We found that already. That gave us negative 1. To find K, we are going to find f of negative 1. That simply means in our function above, we are going to evaluate it when x equals negative 1. So we're going to write y equals negative 3 times negative 1 squared minus 6 times negative 1 plus 2. Negative 1 squared is 1, so we have negative 3 times 1 minus 6 times negative 1 plus 2. That is negative 3 plus 6 plus 2, which leaves us with 5. So the coordinates of the vertex then, the vertex HK, we found H was negative 1 and K was 5, is the ordered pair negative 1, 5. Let's move on to graphing this, keeping in mind our boundary is going to be this dashed line. So I plot the point negative 1, 5, and I'm going to label it. Since A is negative 3, from the vertex I can move 1 either direction and go 3 down. Now I'm going to point out to you that this is, normally I would also graph the y-intercept, but it happens to be that that point is the same. Alright. I am then going to make my parabola have a dashed boundary line. Okay, so it's got a dashed boundary line. Make that a little thicker. So we are looking at the point 2, 0 is on that boundary, and also, not 2, 0, my fault, 0, 2, and then also the point negative 2, 2. Here. Okay, last part of this. We need to test a point for shading. We did a lot of this with lines. I'm going to test the point 0, 0. 0, 0 is inside we basically have inside the parabola or outside the parabola. 0, 0 is clearly inside the parabola. We put 0 in for x and y, and we get y, 0, is less than negative 3 times 0 minus 6 times 0 plus 2. Well, if I simplify that, that means 0 is less than 2. Is that a true statement? Is 0 less than 2? It is. That tells me that I am in the right region. So here's my test point. I am in the correct region for shading because it made my inequality true. So I am then going to shade inside that parabola. All right, and I know, I just want to make sure we're clear, I've tried to make this U-shaped, but this is not a V. These are not lines. There is curve to them. When A becomes steeper or larger and larger, and this gets thinner and thinner, that becomes harder to see, but this definitely is a parabola. So this is a nice example that covers how to find the axis and vertex again, but then goes a step further and talks about how we would graph and shade if this were an inequality.